back. Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of the online learning bootcamp series for Ace Your Online class. My name is Derek, and I apologize if there's a lot of background noise today. I decided to try a video outside in my backyard to sort of ease us back in. The first few videos I had done were in the beautiful serenity of Rangy Lake, Maine, and now I am back in New Jersey. I decided to do this next video in my backyard to kind of show you a little bit again about myself. This is my backyard, and what you can't see behind those trees is the Garden State Parkway, and that is the low roadway hum that you might hear. And if it's really terrible, I apologize, and I will never do a video out here again. But today we're going to talk about day 2, which is your schedule. So there's 4 things I really want to hit on today when prepping for your online class that I want to talk about in terms of getting your schedule right for maximizing the time you're going to be dedicating to establishing the really healthy habits and routines that really help the true outstanding students excel in online learning. So if you think about it, a lot of times people choose online classes because of flexibility. And I just want to say, while flexibility is great, I don't want people confusing flexibility with a lack of structure. It's great to be able to not have to set a set date to leave the house and go to class, but you should be having set times that you are dedicating to learning. And that's where, yes, it's flexible in that you can move those times around, and they can be times that would not normally fit in a traditional classroom hour scheduling. Like you could be learning at 1 in the morning when there would be no classes going on. And that is flexibility, but a lack of structure would be not having a set plan of when you're actually going to sit down and attack the assignments that you have coming to you. So with that out of the way, the first suggestion I want to make is get a copy of your school's academic calendar. I'm surprised by how many students don't have this, and it is really important for a number of reasons. It's good to have just a list of all the official holidays and days off your school has. I know with online learning you're going to be working potentially during those days anyway, but if you're trying to reach out to administration or faculty, they're probably not going to be responding on officially recognized academic holidays. You also want to know, as I mentioned in video 1, when thinking about if you were to sign up for an extra class and then later drop it before the add drop period ends, all the information on when add drop is contained in that academic calendar. There's a lot of other useful info too about, such as information about when you might be able to withdraw from a class and still get certain amount of your money refunded to you in terms of tuition. So for example, you might be able to withdraw by a certain date if you just really weren't feeling the class and knew it wasn't going to end well for you, and still get 75% of your tuition, 50%, and it's sort of like a sliding scale that moves down as you get further into the semester, which makes sense, right? The more of the class you consume, the less of your tuition money you should expect back. So that is another thing you'd find in your academic calendar. So my suggestion is that you either print it and keep it somewhere for the year that you're going to be able to reference it frequently, or save it locally to your computer or someplace where you'll be able to access it whenever you need it. Number 2 is I'd like people to look ahead. This is a suggestion. When you sit down, it's still August here, look ahead to the next 3 months and see what you have committed in terms of, it could be a number of things. You may have planned a vacation a while back, not thinking about school. You may have a wedding. You may have some other kind of commitment that just is immovable, and you have to plan school around that. And the earlier you kind of identify these times where you might fall out of your routine and habits, the better you can kind of circumvent any potential barriers and plan in extra time or different times than you normally be working. Likewise, in the fall semester, you have Thanksgiving week, which is often an odd one for schools. A lot of times schools will have a class the first part of that week, and then a lot of times kids or students go home or if they're already home, they have plans to be away from their home for a long weekend. You have to factor it in because that's a really busy time of the semester for students right before finals. My overall suggestion is to basically look ahead and decide now what you're going to commit to and what you might not be able to commit to, and kind of know that, so that when people do ask you, you sort of have an idea of like what you might want to say. So on that note, the third suggestion I have in terms of maximizing your schedule for acing your online class and killing it in online learning is to make certain decisions regarding your time commitments. So if you are working, are you planning to work the same number of hours, or are you thinking about cutting back? If you have childcare commitments, are you able to manipulate those in any way? Get some additional support from people around you, or change the hours, or work with your spouse or significant other to sort of lighten the load temporarily while you're learning, or even if it's just on certain days, that can be really helpful. And it's really great to kind of establish these habits and have those talks with your support network early, before you really get going with the work. That way, when it does start to get heavy, the course load, you're already sort of in the routine, and your family members and your friends already sort of know what to expect. And then the last thing, my last suggestion for today, is to start to look at your schedule and calendar and identify open gaps that appear. So you might have regular commitments, for example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and they might relate to work or childcare. And then you notice, Tuesdays and Thursdays are pretty open, and especially Thursday, I'm going to have a lot of time to dedicate to my online course. That's a really good way to sort of approach it and start to look at the weekly areas that are going to be like good gaps of time to kind of settle down and kind of fall into a routine of working at those designated times. You don't have to block it out yet, and I have a lot more information in my online course, which is called Ace Your Online Class, which you can find at aceyouronlineclass.thinkific.com. I have a lot of tips in there related to scheduling and this idea of trying not to work in huge gaps, not scheduling, for instance, 4 hours at a time to work on an online class, but knowing when those gaps are, so that when you do have them come up, you're able to kind of slot in some things to do along with the necessary breaks. So, hope you found some value in this video. I will be back again. If the background noise is too much, I will not be doing videos outside again, but really wanted to try something different as we kind of say goodbye to August and hello to September. So take care, guys. See you tomorrow.